In the Huddle was created to give student athletes, parents and coaches an inside look at the journey through US college sport and all that comes with it. The demands, the experiences, the excitement and the opportunities available to our student athletes from around the world. Study and Play USA facilitates a comprehensive, customised approach for student athletes and families for their whole journey, from their high school preparation years right through to US college graduation. Hi, and welcome to this episode of In the Huddle with Study and Play USA. In this episode, we continue talking with a series of student athletes, male and female, from a wide variety of sports and attending a huge variety of colleges in the USA. Today, we highlight a young lady who's living her dream right now at the famous University of Miami in Florida on the rowing team. Currently on semester break home in Geelong, we welcome Mimmi Balaam.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
Great to have you here. Welcome home.
Thank you. It's good to be home.
How have you enjoyed your time at home so far, having been at college for 1 year now, isn't it?
Yeah, so almost a full year. No, it's nice to be home. As I said to Mum, it's like obviously nice to see everyone. Certainly missing the weather in Miami, but yeah, during this time I think it's great for me to be home. But I don't know. I think how the semester works out over in the States and how the years are like divided up with their breaks, I think there's more than enough time for me to come home and see friends. I mean, everyone's always saying to me like, oh, like, don't you miss like what's happening, like how everyone's together in Melbourne and whatnot. And I mean, I come home and not a lot's changed. I mean, all my friends are still doing the same thing and I've had this whole other amazing experience, which I'm so grateful for. But yeah, no, it is nice to see my friends at home. But I mean, to anyone that's ever looking to pursue anything in the States, like my message to you would be that not a lot changes at home and your friends will still be here and you'll have a whole nother experience on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've found that too. I didn't want to leave home. I didn't want to go to college, but when you get there, you've got a whole new set of friends that you get, obviously a whole new family in a way. That doesn't mean you don't value your friends and family at home as well. But as you say, someone said to me, Australia's not going anywhere. It's not going to drift away from the rest of the earth. I think, I'd imagine in Geelong, things haven't changed too much from what you're...
Not a lot, no. But yeah, no, it is nice to see everyone. But then again, they introduce you to their new friends. And then, I don't know, when traveling in the next few years after college, I mean, I know that I have a whole nother set of friends, as you said, internationally, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And what's been the response from your friends at home to, I guess you've probably got quite a few stories to tell already. The first year. What's sort of been their response?
I don't think they can believe it. I mean, I have one mate playing AFL for Adelaide Crows, and I was talking to him about the facilities that we have over there, and he was quite blown away because I think it's quite similar, if not a little bit better, to AFL standards, which is quite impressive for college athletes. I mean, I was certainly blown away. I kind of got to experience the facilities a little bit more throughout my injury first semester. I tore a ligament in my foot, but it was actually kind of, as bad as it sounds, fitting how it happened. I mean, I got to run on the Alta G, which is like a zero gravity treadmill. And I got to run on a treadmill we have underwater, which was so cool. Like, I mean, obviously a bummer that happened. I was in a moon boot, I think, for 8 weeks, but even just seeing the whole rehab side of like the athletic department was pretty amazing. So when I was telling people about that, they couldn't believe that we as college athletes have access to those facilities, let alone like the gear that we get from Adidas, which have a really good partnership with the school. So we're so lucky to have that. On top of that, I mean, Miami itself is pretty cool to go to college there. I think everyone's quite amazed how, I don't know, that we get to, I guess, live the dream in terms of pursuing our sport, getting a career and living in a pretty cool place. The weather's amazing. The facility itself doesn't seem like a school. Miami's amazing. And I think everyone's just not envious, but I think if a few more people had the option to, or like looked into it a bit further in school, I think they definitely would have liked to pursue the same opportunity that I had. So I'm very fortunate that I got to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. You really are living the dream. You're making me want to go back. Saying all that.
No,
that is it. It is awesome. And I guess so. Yeah, you've touched on a little bit there, but how about you just give us a sense of your first year overall over there? Give us a 1 year report card, hey?
Okay. So I honestly, it like blew my expectations. I mean, to as like throughout school, I was lucky enough to go to a good APS school in Melbourne, well, in Geelong, called Geelong College, and a big part of our school life there was um, mixing a lot of sports with academics. So I kind of had that the whole way through school, and I was wondering how I could further that by I don't know, continuing my education and playing sport at a high level, and no better way than to do it at the States. So I was lucky enough to get a full scholarship at the University of Miami, which, yeah, was insane. I can't describe the campus. It's palm trees, it's sunshine. I mean, I think it rained 4 times since I've been there. The weather doesn't really get below 22, which is amazing. Miami itself is unreal. I mean, I don't really like, I think it's a little bit different to the rest of the States. I mean, it's super Cuban influence, where a lot of people speak Spanish. It's very international. But yeah, the facility and the resources, and I mean, the professors, the education, it's amazing, more than I could have ever asked for. The accommodation's great, the food's amazing. And then in terms of the athletic department, I mean, let alone being surrounded with so many other sports, which I think is really cool, and meeting heaps of other Aussies that are also at the same university is amazing. But yeah, I honestly couldn't have asked for anything more. I mean, I love every aspect of the college. I love the people there, and the support that we get is more than I could have ever asked for. I think, yeah, we're so blessed that we can come out of these 4 years and have a degree, but also um, competed in sport against some of the best athletes, I mean, arguably in the world,
Mm.
um, with every reason surrounding us to succeed. I mean, we have tutors and unlimited resources for study and support. As I said, we get great gear, great facilities for furthering ourselves. But then again, injured, like if you're injured, and then the staff surrounding that. I mean, I've become really close with a few of our team physios, which are great, great to have. And I think their knowledge too really makes you feel a little bit more comfortable in terms of the fact that if something does happen, you know that you are in the right hands. But
Yeah.
on that front, I haven't experienced any homesickness whatsoever. I mean, I think mum and dad are actually quite jealous that I'm having such a good time over there. But yeah, no, as the experience as a whole, I mean, I honestly couldn't ask for anything more. I'm so happy that I got the opportunity, and thank you guys for helping me to get the opportunity to go study over there. I couldn't be happier, and I don't think there's a place that would better suit me.
That's that's music to our ears when we hear that, because it's
Yeah,
what it's all about. It's all about not necessarily where you go. It's making sure where you are is the right place for you, and it certainly sounds like Miami is
yeah,
for you. And I can assure you that although your mum might be quite envious what's happening, from my conversations with her, she's just so happy and so pumped.
exactly,
And again, I think
exactly.
she still can't quite believe what's
No, no,
happening.
they're both still a bit blown away, which is great.
Yeah, I want to just quickly touch on, you mentioned injury. Look, that's a reality of being an athlete for most people. It's a very, very common question we get here at Study and Play USA with, families looking into the pathway.
Sure,
What happens if I get injured in America, and do they support you? I've heard they don't support you, and our experience certainly is quite the opposite. It's quite like what you've said. So,
yeah,
talk us through your injury just a little bit, and you mentioned support a couple of times when you gave
sure,
your report card before.
sure.
Talk about the injury support, but also pastoral support, for not that, as I said, not that you've been struggling too much at this stage with homesickness or anything like that, but pastoral support, academic and athletic. Just
Sure.
talk about support and on the injury front in particular.
I think it was a little bit silly how it happened. So I'm actually on the rowing team, but I've pursued a lot of running throughout my schooling career. So I try to keep running a little bit over there. We have an amazing track team. So I was running one evening around the track. It was crazy how it happened. Can happen to anyone. But a girl on the soccer team had her dog out there playing, and I managed to trip over it. I don't know how that
Oh,
was possible.
It's a good
it
effort.
kind of ran through my legs. But yeah, no, at the start, I was like, oh, it's okay. And then I was like, okay. So I called my team doctor. I'm like, look, I've fallen over. It feels a little bit abnormal. I kind of had a little clicky noise when I went down. So we had a look at it, put me on crutches, iced it, pain relief, I think. And then within the next 2 days, I was getting, I think I had maybe an x-ray first. I was straight in, we have an amazing hospital on campus. So I was straight in there. Yeah, so as soon as I could get it, they got me straight in, which is crazy. And then we're like, no, it's not that. Still sore. Like with the team doctor, we were trying to see, like, work out what parts were sore. Initially, we thought it was maybe just like I rolled my ankle. And then I think after a few more days, it was a bit sore. And then the other team doctor had a look at it. He's like, okay, you've torn your ligament. So I went and had an MRI, which I didn't quite enjoy. For anyone that's had an MRI, it's definitely a test of someone's patience. But glad I got that done, because then we saw that I tore, I think, a few ligaments in my foot, which honestly, like, I mean, it could have been so much worse. So then I was in the moon boot, I think, for 8 weeks. I was doing rehab with the team doctor every day. Lucky enough for me that I could still maintain my fitness. Like, I think I came back to the first, 2 weeks after I rehabbed, we had a 2K erg, which was, like, for anyone who knows rowing, hell. But I ended up, like, being in the mix and staying fit. So I think through that period, I got to run on the Alter G. For anyone who doesn't know that, it's like a zero gravity running machine. So you put these pants on and you zip into the treadmill, and you can, what it does is, like, with air, it pushes your body up, so you don't have to carry your full body weight while you're running.
Right.
So over the weeks of progression, we added more weight and, like, a longer time to run, I guess, so that gets you back to weight bearing. And then I also got to go on the underwater treadmill, which was pretty cool. And they have a camera at the back of that where they can look at your form, and, like, you can add more resistance and whatnot. Also, like, strengthening of my ankle. And then so throughout that time, I mean, let alone the coaches and the team being great support, and everyone, and they're in the athletic facilities. There are also, I don't know, for anyone that feels like they need to talk to someone, or even through that process, even the team, like, psychologist actually came and spoke to me. He's like, how's it going? Like, I know injury, and I didn't even have to go out of my way. I mean, he came up to me. He's like, I mean, generally with anyone who's injured, I like to check on how they're going. And anytime we want, actually, there's also counselors and whatnot that the team has access to, in the discretion of the counselor, obviously. But yeah, no, the support was amazing. I mean, the fact that I didn't even have to go out of my way, the support just came to me. It's just, like, I think it's it's the best support you could ask for. So that was all amazing. And although it was, like, such a small injury, I think you definitely feel that, as you said, that family environment when, in a team of, like, 60, it was great to see how many people cared for you.
Yeah.
So it was kind of good that happened in the spring semester, because in the fall semester, because we compete in the spring. So after that, I was back into it, staying off running without it being in the Alter G for a while. Got back into the training. The coaches were good with not adding too much load on.
Yeah.
And then I still kept having, I think, for the next 2 months, appointments with the doctor in the hospital. Just got another, I don't know if we got another MRI or X-ray, but just to check, and he felt it. Took the moon boot off. So that was a great experience. And I mean, I certainly, when it happened, I didn't think that I would be getting that much support, both, I guess, physically and mentally. I don't know, for being an amateur athlete, like a college athlete, I mean, it's crazy that as soon as it happened, I was seeing some of the best doctors and getting the best support I think any athlete could get. And yeah, no, it was a shame that it happened, but as I said, I was kind of cool that I got to see how that side of the sport works, and that you are kind of reassured, and I guess your parents reassured that support is there. And it blows my mind how many different ways, like, people can help you, and how much that support can, like, help with your mental state too. So yeah, that was great.
That's amazing. Yeah, again, getting injuries is part of the overall experience of being an athlete, and
Exactly.
so as you say, it was not necessarily a negative in the end. It was
Yes.
an opportunity to just sort of, yeah, you don't realize the support's there until you need it sometimes. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's good that you got.
Exactly.
Very, very pleased to hear that you got the support on that end. We try and support from this end as best we can, but
Yes.
it's so important you've got that right at your disposal there. So no wonder your friend at Adelaide Crows is, pretty impressed by all that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is top notch. I say to anyone that's looking to pursue sport in the States from an AFL perspective, like if you're not playing AFL and you want to pursue high level sports, the States is the place to go in terms of resources, money, funding, and support. I
Sure.
mean, Australia is great, but compared to the money that the US has and the all round opportunity, I mean, you're so celebrated, as you would know, as being a student athlete at the
Yes.
school. I
Mm,
mean, I think a lot of people here are my friends in Melbourne that are rowing. Their two lives are completely separate in terms of uni
correct.
and rowing, which I think is really hard because we get all this additional support and then like it's worked around each other. So we
Mm,
don't have that additional stress.
yeah.
Yeah, you can't compare the facilities and the resources that we get. I mean, the gear that we got from Adidas and constant things, little things like the nutrition center. I mean, after every training session, we have this amazing new nutrition center that just got built. We can make smoothies, like
Awesome.
lunches. It's crazy. I mean, it's just things that you wouldn't get here, including the academic side. I mean, the states have the money, the resources, and the people to help you. So, I mean, why not take the opportunity? In my
That's
opinion.
right. And the amazing thing there, Mim, is that you're getting that for free. Like that's the
Oh,
other amazing thing. And
it's it's
it's
crazy to think about.
I know it. I guess just for listeners, we talk about full scholarships. We think, okay, well, surely there's something we've got to pay. What does it cover? Is that just a full scholarship to cover tuition? Talk us through what your scholarship covers. Yeah,
Yeah,
basically. And again, if I should mention as well, your injury before there was insurance required for that. That would have
yeah,
been covered in the scholarship too, I would
yeah.
imagine. But yeah, talk us through what's covered in your
So I
scholarship.
think every school's like full scholarship is different.
Yes.
University of Miami is quite an expensive school to go to because it's private.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I can't believe my scholarship. It's unbelievable. I think the only thing that we do pay for is basic health insurance, which might be a couple grand a year.
Yeah.
But at different schools pay for that. Um, and it depends how many times a year you want to come home. But I get one international flight a year paid for. I get all my tuition, all my books, all my dorms, all my food. On top of that, I get a stipend, which is about 900 US dollars monthly, which is crazy.
What
Um,
you don't need it at all, right?
I don't need it. I mean, because we get, and then when we go away and travel, the team pays for our, I don't know, food and transport and whatnot. So I think I put that towards my international flights to coming home.
Yes.
So you're getting everything covered.
Mm.
What other things are there?
I mean, I
I
guess all
mean,
your gear and your equipment and
yeah, and then with
all
that, like I got, they just built these new amazing dorms on campus, and because I'm full scholarship athlete, they automatically like guarantee me a spot in that sector of the building, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, all of the, I mean, anything you could think about, which is, I don't know, it's crazy how much money it is. I think it translates to maybe 400,000 Australian dollars over the 4 years, which is an unbelievable amount of money. And I can't believe that I got so lucky to get this opportunity. But yeah, no, so for anyone who gets a full scholarship or even a scholarship, I mean, we're so lucky. And
Mm.
yeah, I'm just like, can't insist enough, like how much of a wonderful opportunity it is and how lucky we are to get these things. I mean, for any citizen in America, it's their dream to go to college. I mean, it's like a privilege. And for us, I
Yes.
mean, we can choose where we want to study. And the fact that we get almost paid to go over there and compete in something that we love, and we get in, I mean, I think the benefit to this, if I'm comparing it to AFL, we come out with a degree, a whole other experience, and we've had the same kind of facilities and whatnot given to us
Yeah.
as they get. Um, on top of that, I might even think that we would get more gear because we get all of our shoes given to us. I mean, I got an iPad, suitcases. I got 7 pairs of runners, and we don't even need runners for rowing.
Yeah.
Like sports bras, zooties, long sleeve skins, jackets, beanies. I mean, we live in Miami,
Yeah.
but yeah, I cannot stress enough how amazing and mind blowing it is. I mean, as you said, I went on an official visit, which was cool. I got to see 3 different schools. I went to
Yep.
um, University of Miami, SMU, which is in Dallas, Texas, and Alabama, 3 very different schools. So
Mm.
SMU and Miami are private, so their tuition is a lot more expensive compared to the state school, Alabama. Big difference in all the schools. I mean, crazily enough, I got offered the best scholarship at the school that I wanted, which was crazy how that worked out.
Yep.
But yeah, just even looking at all of their facilities, like I mean, Alabama has a all depends on the football team. So Alabama or their basketball team has a huge football team, so they have crazy amounts of funding.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah, I mean, great sponsorship from Nike, which was really cool. And then SMU is like a smaller, more niche school.
Yeah.
I think really good academics too. Not a lot of money, not as good as facilities, but still a stunning campus and an amazing place to be. So yeah, all different schools in different places in the States, I think, have a lot of great things on offer for me. I think it was a lot of it was about where I felt the most comfortable, and obviously it depends on how well you get along with your head coach and whatnot. But
Mm.
the weather was amazing. The facilities and the support, as I said, the academics, again, you're coming with a great degree at a very well recognized school. And just, I don't know, the vibe on campus. I think it's really important for those who get the opportunity to go on an official visit. It is
Yeah.
important to take that because you got to see yourself there.
Yeah. Yep. Right. And it's just for listeners too, it's a paid visit. So an official visit for you, for most sports and student athletes, you can have up to 5 visits, and they can be all paid for if the
Yes.
coach wants to do that. So you had a paid visit, right? And
So yeah,
visited
so
3
they
colleges.
fly me over. They didn't pay for mum and dad's flights, but they paid for mum and dad's accommodation, food, which was amazing.
Yes.
So they fly you over, pay for all your transportation, all of your food. What you do is the coach will pick you up from the airport. You'll drive it depends on what time you get in there, but you might go meet the other coaching staff. I mean, I think then I had dinner most nights with all of the coaching staff, which was great to get to know them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, and then we stayed in a hotel the first night. The next day, we'd go to campus, look at the campus, speak to students at the campus from an academic standpoint, and then speak to the rest of the team, which I think is also really important because I know about everyone else, but I think team culture is a big part of why we do our sports, especially in team sports. We're so lucky that we have other
Yeah,
people there, our other family internationally.
definitely.
So that's really important. And then staying the night on campus with one of the student athletes. So I was lucky. I think all places I had Aussies, which was crazy. And even to get, I think Aussies like say it how it is. So even to get their views on the college and like how they're enjoying their experience, and even just anyone else on the team. I mean, it's really good to see that standpoint. But yeah, you're definitely like unbelievably generous they are and caring towards you. And I think yeah, you've got to firstly really get along well with your head coach because I mean that's the person that you're going to listen to and work well with, and I know try to bring out the best in you that they possibly can,
Yeah.
and also get along with the team dynamic. And aside from like the sporting aspect, I mean, it's 4 years of your life. You've got to see yourself in this place. You're getting a degree. You've got to love it. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
why also I'm not homesick is because I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, every day I think of how lucky I am, just from in a college standpoint and a lifestyle standpoint. Um, I think for me that was why I chose Miami because I'm like, these pretty cool to be spending 4 years in this kind of the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, look, it's yeah. You must pinch yourself walking around campus.
I certainly do.
And just as you sort of touched on the athletes. I mean, that you get to hang around with at a place like that. Look, not everyone gets to go to a big campus like that or a big Division 1 program. So as you say, it's an incredibly big privilege. But have you got to mingle with other student athletes? And have you been to a football game yet?
Yes, so I have a couple friends on the football team, one of them being the punter who's Aussie, Lou Headley. He's
Fantastic.
actually from Perth and he played in is it the Waffle? Like
Yes. Yep.
I think
Yep.
the VFL version of,
In
and then
WA.
he's like another crazy story. So he, I think dropped out of high school, started tattoo parlor in Bali, got money, was going to go traveling, then started punting. He met some guys like, oh, like you can kick well. Went to a community college in San Fran. Now he's on a full scholarship at a Div 1 school and he'll probably get drafted. I mean,
Fantastic.
that's just a crazy story that, I mean, some guy who dropped out of high school and was looking to, I don't know, didn't have a lot of future ambition, let alone he was already talented, picked up football, and now he's going to find a career in this. I think that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But,
And it's also,
yeah,
it also speaks to the America being the land of opportunity, isn't it? Like that's
exactly.
what it really is. And again, yeah, it's for an Aussie as well. We've got a good reputation over there too. So they're going to notice you.
Exactly.
You know, you get an opportunity to be noticed, I guess, over there. Being an Aussie, we're very well
Yes.
received. So that's
No,
yeah.
exactly. And the people that you meet, I mean, my Olympia, who also went through this program, she's my roommate. We're good friends. And yeah, no, there's some people that we've met, crazy generous, and they're like, oh, if you're ever in this place, like contact me, like you can come stay with us. Or like, oh, if you're looking to pursue this, like, I know my dad works in this career, he might be able to get you a internship. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Love it.
But
That's very
yeah, it is amazing. But on terms of football, it's a crazy game. I don't love as much as AFL, a little bit stop start, but again, how much money and love and time and effort goes into the sport is crazy. I mean, a lot of the boys on the football team I've noticed haven't come from, I don't know, the highest socioeconomic background, but for them, it's their way out. As I said, it's a privilege to go to college in America, and it's their way out of maybe they might be the first generation going to college, or I don't know, they are athletic and they've picked up football like Lou, and now all of a sudden it's their gateway into a good life and everything that comes with it. So I think that it is a great thing to watch, and we've been lucky to meet quite a few other student athletes that have the same experience. And there's another Aussie on the dive team who we love. Our neighbours were golfers. One's from Finland, so it's cool to meet them and hear about their experiences. Baseball, another thing that I've never seen before, pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
Loved watching the basketball, super fun, and their energy and their love that they put into sport and how much praise their athletes get. It's like no other. I mean, your whole college is behind you and supporting you. I mean, they bleed for us green and orange. I mean, it is their life. So it's super cool to get that support also from non-student athletes and staff and whatnot. But yeah, no, I think everyone there is on the same goal and have great support around them. And everyone wants to, I don't know, bring out the best in each other. And I think that's the vibe that I loved about the school, is everyone's picking each other up and trying to succeed together. So that's great.
You're still making me want to go back, Mimmi. You're going to have but look, it's everything you're saying. There's a common thread here with some of the student athletes we're talking to about, support, the experience. You have to see it to believe it, and then also, I guess the funding that goes into it. It's such a big thing, but also the opportunity, as you said before, about people offering internships and all those things that can come from it. But look, just want to
crazy.
Yeah, it is actually unbelievable. It's again, we talk about this all day, every day in what we do, because this is our job. But again, for most Aussies, we feel like some people don't quite believe us when we tell them this. So we're glad we're hearing it from you, who's living it and breathing it now. Which is, so you're helping us help others, get an idea of what it's like. But look, I'm just going to, you mentioned your roommate, Olympia, who's also another Geelong girl. So fantastic. I mean, that must be a great way for you to, you must look at each other and go, we're in Miami. I mean, 2 years ago,
we
we
pinch
were,
ourselves all the time.
I know.
Exactly.
And like, I guess it'd probably be remiss of me not to mention how wonderfully supportive your school has been or was during the process at Geelong College there. And
Adrian Blade's a big factor in that. He was
absolutely. Oh, great guy. We'll the fact that he's a Denver Broncos fan, we'll leave that there. But
full of knowledge.
yeah, he is, and very, very passionate and in it for the right reasons. And
of course.
But look, he I guess for you as well, having that added responsibility of being your school captain, Mimmi, how did you find I guess that leadership experience prepare you for, I guess, the process of getting to college? Because it's not easy. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to manage. And then I guess you're thriving over in Miami now. How much do you put down to, okay, we know you've got an amazingly supportive family as well, which is clearly a big part of who you are now. But if we just talk about Geelong College just for a moment, how do you think that experience helped you?
I loved my education at college. I mean, can't really say a bad word. I was very lucky with everything they had. Again, amazing opportunities and support for a school. I think for college, a big factor for me was the sport. I mean, we had to train 3 times a week and compete on the weekends, but I loved that. I mean, I still today keep in contact with friends from other schools that I played against on the weekend, which is great because I can go back up to Melbourne and I have those mates, which is really good.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, sport was how our doors started opening up, I guess, in terms of leadership. I was lucky enough to be cross-country captain, I think, in year 11. And I think for me, that was where I kind of found enjoyment in that part of things. And I got to see, again, a different side of how a business as a school works. I mean, you see the coaches, all the staff, and then year 12, I was lucky enough to be school captain, which I loved. And again, that's another opportunity that these places offer. I think it was an amazing learning experience. It was great to see, again, the runnings of the school. I got to work a lot with the principal and the head of senior school, which was a great experience, and I loved and will forever cherish. But yeah, in terms of opening up doors, I think that was one thing that made me realize how many other opportunities there are that are out there. So I think in terms of taking that to the States, I was lucky enough to be one of the rowing captains this year. We had a senior and a junior and a freshman. So I think that was kind of cool to take that kind of aspect and everything that I've learned here at school and at my club Mercantile and kind of bring that into the Miami program, sharing ideas and supporting each other. As I said, it's a big family, and for a lot of people who are internationals, we have maybe 5, 6 internationals on the team. So I think we're all experiencing the same thing. So I think it was good that we could all share our own stories and help each other. And I think, yeah, everyone's kind of benefited from hearing every other person's experience. So yeah, no, I thank every opportunity that I got from Geelong College. I mean, it was an amazing education. Being school captain was an amazing opportunity. But yeah, it's the people that you meet through these opportunities that is very eye-opening. It's great to hear their story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think leadership is, again, a great way to kind of tell each other your experiences and, I don't know, kind of touch on the things that you would like to contribute towards a program or try to help then further pursue, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think it's all about perspectives and respecting other one's perspective. And sounds like, obviously, we've known you for a few years, Mimmi, not as well as your mum and dad and your closest friends, but through this process, I think one of the biggest things we find why you're being successful at the moment is, you're very personable, and you will talk to people. You're respectful of other people, and you're eager to learn, I think. And you've got, as you say, your eyes are opened all the time. You're looking for ways that you can, learn from others and all that sort of stuff, which is probably going to be a lifelong thing for you. So I think, yeah, you got to give yourself a little pat on the back there too. But I think,
No,
yeah,
but the experiences, as you said, doors are constantly opening. I mean, I can't believe that I'd meet someone and then a couple of weeks later them being like, oh, like if you ever need a job, like, I mean, let me know. I mean, you don't get that anywhere else. But
no,
also in terms of co-curricular stuff, I know the Australian education system is amazing and we all go to such great schools with great opportunities, but co-curricular stuff, there are a lot of things that you can pick up as well in the States that I didn't think would necessarily be on offer. I mean, I think a good thing about the sporting program is where obviously our eyes are opened up to different, again, opportunities and whatnot. And there is a program at Miami, and I'm sure a lot of other or every other college has similar. It's the student, it's like I'm trying to put it in words so you can understand. It's like our board for community service.
yes,
So every team has a representative on it, and they get together, I think, fortnightly and discuss matters that we could all contribute to. Being such a having such a big sporting presence at Miami, I mean, it's great that we can all hopefully have our impact on the community. I mean, it's crazy in such amazing places. We live in a city called Coral Gables, which is it's great. I mean, it's a very high socioeconomic area, but it doesn't take 5 minutes to drive down the road and there'll be someone that doesn't have the same kind of lifestyle. So I think it's great that we can get together and try to help the community around us. And I think that's also another fulfilling experience and very eye-opening for me. Yeah, I went on one of those, we had a program called Second Spoon, which is where we get with a primary school in Coral Gables and we put together meals and we go physically hand it out to the homeless. And for me, that was an eye-opening experience as to how life can be for some. And again, reinforcing how lucky we are to have these amazing opportunities and how such little effort for us by delivering the food can go a long way and how appreciative other citizens are of that. So I think that's a great thing. And another great community aspect that I love about Miami is that we are focused on other things, not just furthering ourselves as athletes, but I think getting the whole experience as people. I mean, noticing how real some things are and how close it can be, and sometimes how out of touch from reality we are because of how lucky we are and how we have these amazing things surrounding us. But I think for me, that was a real eye-opener and a great thing to be a part of. So yeah, no, I certainly love that aspect of the college.
very, 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 very nice to hear that, because it's I think here in Australia we hear of those things. We hear of, you know, some of our famous athletes visiting hospitals and doing great things for charity because they're in that position to do that, which is fantastic. But I think that's their student athlete experience at some of these colleges as well. It's the you know, for others it may not be professional in their sport in Australia. You go to college and you become almost everything. Your status is almost a bit similar, and you put in a privileged position to be able to do those things. And it's only going to make you, as you say, a better person, I suppose, and more appreciative of what you've got, as you say. And I think,
Definitely.
you know, great thing to do just for yourself, but certainly, you know, all these experiences are helping compile a pretty impressive resume too. And you've only been there a year. Imagine what you can do in the next 3 years in terms of impacting people and setting yourself up as well for other opportunities. So it's exciting times, Mimmi, that's for sure.
Very exciting. A lot
It
ahead.
really is. So look, I suppose with the benefit of 1 year behind you now, what are you know, have you got any short-term goals or goals for the remainder of your college or that you'd like to share with us from a rowing point of view? It could be personal, study, and what is your major, by the way? Talk us through that as well.
So I am doing a Bachelor of Science in Education with a major of Sports Admin. So looking to find, hopefully, ideally, a career maybe in a professional club. Before I left, I actually had a bit of a tour around the Geelong Cats Football Club and just seeing the inner works of that and how many staff, as you would know, working in a career in sport, how many staff and jobs there are in that workforce. And I think just working with athletes, having had the experience we had, being able to empathize with what they're going through, I think that's pretty cool. And as I said, there are so many opportunities in the States, let alone in the sporting field. I mean, we in Miami have 3 professional sporting teams just in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So that aspect of it is amazing. So I think I'm looking to pursue something along the lines of that.
Great.
Goals, I think, again, to keep pushing myself and trying to be the best athlete I can by taking as many opportunities that are given to me. I think that's one thing that we are lucky in a time in our lives where it does seem like we're so busy, but with the support, we have time to do things outside of just, I know, our sport and our academics, enjoy the whole college experience, get to see Miami a bit, make new friends, community service, a big part of it, as I said. But in terms of goals, try to get as fit as I can here before I leave so I can be in the best shape for the next rowing semester.
Yeah.
In terms of that, try to be in the top boat, push myself, push our team. I think we're in a unique position in Miami where we've entered the next couple of years where we have, I guess, promising talent, and seeing the new freshmen that are coming in this year. I think we're in a spot where we can really change up our rankings. I mean, we're entering like a new team dynamic where everyone's kind of got the same goal and vision, and everyone's giving 100% towards that goal. It's not major leaps like win a national championship. It's the process that's we're going on to get there. So right now it's placing high in our conference and then getting towards that. And I think we're so lucky to be in this position where we have the power to change a team culture and a team dynamic, which is pretty cool, because we could, I know, come back in a few years' time and say, okay, like we were a part of this team that now is, I don't know, set up for, with the good mentality of working hard and being determined, and everything that I guess a athlete has.
Forming a culture.
In the forefront. Yeah, exactly. Forming a culture. And I think that is super important. And we're lucky that our everyone on the team's buying into that, and that our coaches are being so supportive and so optimistic and pretty like excited to be a part of it, wanting to give us everything that they have, and us hoping to reciprocate that. So I think for me, that's a huge part of my next 3 years, is hoping to form that culture, and hope that we can leave our mark on the college.
Yeah, I'm sure you will, and we look forward to mapping that journey further with you. But before I let you go today, Mim, we've got a bit of a tradition going now. We want to throw some quick fire questions your way. Okay, so some of these you've touched on, but I'm going to ask some of them anyway. But okay, let's hit it. What was your first memories of arriving on campus? The first time.
Blown away, and I couldn't believe that it was a university.
Yeah,
it just seemed like it was a dream.
Yeah. And housing arrangements, were you in a dorm first year? Did you have a roommate?
Was in a dorm, had a roommate, and we shared a bathroom with our golfing roommates.
Okay.
Makes sense.
From Finland?
Yes, Finland, and one of them's from Miami, so bit of a mix.
Nice mix. And with Olympia, your roommate from?
Yeah, Olympia was my roommate. Exactly.
Fantastic. Strangest food that you've found you've had to get used to in Miami?
Strangest food. I wouldn't say strange. I would say quite crazy. They have every Wednesday a farmer's market on campus. They bring out fresh food, and there's amazing fresh like poke bowls with amazing fresh fish, which I find quite cool. So that was a pretty amazing that we have that on campus.
Yeah, as you say, it's quite eclectic. That part of the world, you might have some Cuban influence, and
exactly, the food's amazing. It comes from all different backgrounds, and I think we're quite lucky to have that, and the weather making a lot of it fresh and very exciting to eat.
Fantastic. And favorite food? Have you got a favorite food that you've come across?
Favorite food? That's a hard one. I love the fresh fruit there. They have amazing fresh fruit. The pineapple and all that is amazing. Mango, so good.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Can't beat nice fruit. It sounds like you're in Queensland, actually.
I know.
Instead
It's
of
a
Miami.
holiday.
And you sort of mentioned any Australians or internationals on campus. We've sort of touched on that. I guess, what's it like being an Australian on campus?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, you forget that you are different in terms of the fact that you have an accent. I mean, just people walking by think, oh my God, are you Australian? And they love Australians. It's great. We have the 2 semesters that we've had a lot of Sydney uni students come on their exchange. So crazy. We actually have mutual friends, but it's great to see them from like a non-athletic standpoint, and just again, I know Aussies are highly celebrated there, and they love them, and they've been more than welcoming to us. So I think it's pretty cool kind of having that aspect of you as well. I mean, it's a great tool to meeting new friends. They like to hear about your culture and you like to hear about theirs. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And it's pleasing to hear you've still maintained that good, strong Aussie accent.
Exactly.
It's in your best interest, isn't it?
Exactly.
Talk about your coach. What's your coach's your best attributes, would you say?
I think he's super positive and optimistic and determined to better each of us as individual athletes, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, certainly don't feel like I've spoken to other friends at other programs, and I think they feel as though they're a bit of a number. But this is why it's important that you go to the school that benefits you as an athlete. That you bond with the coach the most, and you have the same mindset. I mean, not every school is going to be right for every individual. That's why I think it's important that you find the right one. For me, I found it important that I could have a good relationship with the coach and know that I feel at home being so far away from home, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So
sure.
I think he's quite good, that he's personable, and he definitely accommodates for everyone.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, no, that sounds like my kind of coach as well. Any exciting road trips in your first year you want to share with us?
So Miami itself is amazing. We have the Keys, which a great stretch of water, which is amazing. But also we went up to Fort Lauderdale. So even just like the whole, I don't know how many, like maybe 50 kilometers of coastline that I've seen, which was amazing. And also for Thanksgiving, I went to a friend who was in my class randomly, like in the people that you meet, went to her house in Naples, which was amazing. It's like this amazingly wealthy beach suburb, which was just crazy to see. So that was pretty cool. And then also the one regatta that we did get to in Virginia was amazing. Very different to Miami, but very cool to see. So I think that's also another plus to being an athlete there, is you get to travel and see different parts of the States, which is amazing.
Sure is. Well, I think that'll do us for this episode. I think, Mimmi, you've been very insightful in your appraisal of your first year, and it's been really, really great for me to hear, obviously, because
I can't thank you guys enough for getting me the opportunity here. No, I'm grateful every day, and I love it. Can't complain.
No, as I said, our greatest joy in this is seeing you just like this, being happy and thriving. So it's been a pleasure working with you, and obviously, good luck for next year and the coming years after that. And we'd love to have you back here again when you're home next. And
sure.
Next time, hopefully, when we've got some less travel restrictions, we might catch up with you down in Geelong next time you're home. But
no worries.
But thanks again. And
nice to see.
Yeah, it's always nice. And good luck. We'll keep in touch, eh?
Thank you very much. Go Cats tonight.
I think we need to be going for the Hawks tonight.
No. Nice to speak, Chris. Thank you.
No worries.
Bye.
See ya.